type of idioms that are decision idioms, so maybe like difficult to do or decide. So in those situations we can use these idioms, right? So how to use them, like between the devil and the deep blue sea. Let's see, this is the first example. Between the devil and the deep blue sea, between two equally difficult, unacceptable choices. So you have two different difficult situation, and you have to decide both. So how you can use it as like trying to please both his boss and his wife puts him between the devil and the deep blue sea. Or you can say, I must move to a larger house or spend money extending this one. Either will be expensive, so I am between devil and the deep blue sea. Okay. Then the police knew with certainty he had drugs in his car, so he became trapped between devil and the deep blue sea. Either lie to police or admit that the drug belonged to him. So you can use in many examples like these. Easier said than done. So this is also, you may have heard many of our times, easier said than done. So like actually talking about it is easier. Seems good idea, but actually while working on it, it becomes difficult, or it would be difficult to do. So doctor advised her to stop smoking and drinking, but she's addicted, so it is easier said than done for her, right? So, or letting go of bad habits is easier said than done, or avoiding mosquito bites is easier said than done, or anything like that. So we walk about reducing our cost, but it is easier said than done, or anything like that. So we want to achieve something, but it is easier said than done. Then the next one is in a quandary. So in a quandary, find it's difficult to decide what to do, uncertain about what to do, right? So the job that sites or offer are most stressful, but the salary is better. So people are in a quandary about what to choose, work or family life, right? This can be an example for it. Now, in two minds, when you are not able to decide, you can say like while difficulty while deciding what to do, it is in two minds. So I'm in two minds of either to choose this or that. Like, so parents are in two minds about whether or not to allow their children to be on social media platforms like Facebook, right? So those can be an example. Or Rahul was in two minds whether to make the trip to Mount Everest, and or you can say like I was in two minds about the plan, but in the end I authorized it. Next is keep your options open. This means there is a decision to kept in pending. So postpone making a decision so that you can choose among several possible courses of action. So say overseas jobs offer sounds good, but keep your options open until you are sure, right? Then you can say like there is offered me a good salary if I stay with the company, but I think I would like to keep my options open. You don't want to take a decision right now. You can use this idiom. Or you can say you are too young to be working. I'm just thinking you should keep your options open until you're finished with the college. Next one is the lesser of two evils. Lesser of two evils is basically one option is better than the other one. So if you choose the lesser of the two evil, you opt for the less unpleasant of two poor options. Okay, allowing TV watching instead of playing online games is lesser of two evils for your children's, right? So this can be a good example of it. Or both your options are unlikable, but the lesser of two evil in this case is selling the house. So say if someone want to sell the house or sell his company, so you can say like both options are unlikable, but the lesser of two evils is selling your house. And then there are plenty of examples. I didn't like either politician, so I voted for the lesser of two evils. You can just give an example of like that. Or you can say she choose a life alone or a bad marriage. In the end it seemed loneliness was the lesser of the two evil. Okay. Then you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a book by its cover is basically like you cannot know what someone or something is like just by looking at the appearance of it. So candidate did not look very intelligent, but he gave appropriate answers. So you cannot judge a book by its cover. So it can be an example. Or you can say the hotel looked attractive from outside, but the rooms were damp and not well maintained. So you can't judge a book by its cover. Okay, similar way that the car was small and looked unsuited for a long trip, but packed a lot of power and was very solid. So you can't judge a book by its cover. Next is catch 22 situation. So what is catch 22 situation is basically the situation this phase came up during war in wartime. So when there was particular situation when there was no outcome of it. So it is a locking between arguments. So either you do this or that, it doesn't matter you cannot solve that particular problem. So that's where the catch 22 situation is called. So it is a good read. If you want, I can put in description on how if this phrase or idiom caught up in our usual language. But here, like, let's try for a few examples. So I couldn't start my own business until I have got money, and I couldn't get money until I start my own business. So this is a real catch 22 situation. So I can't have money without having a business, and I can't have a business without money. So you understand, here is a catch 22 situation. Or you can say the company's cost reduction plan is catch 22. They need to lay off half the staff to keep the company open, but with few people we won't be able to complete all the work that is needed to earn enough revenue. So if you reduce the staff to increase the revenue, ultimately you will fail, because there will be less productivity, and here, and you cannot ultimately earn more, right? Or you can say there is a catch 22 in the job market. You need experience to get work, and you need work to get experience. So usually this situation we see where you don't get a job without an experience, but you will not get experience without a job. So it's a catch 22 situation. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the next section. So here it is contrast idiom. So to write about the opposites of it, two different situation. So the classic one will be the other side of the coin. So let's see some examples of it. The opposite aspect. The other side of the coin means the other side of coin is always the opposite of what the current situation is. For example, having weekends off gives more time to relax. The other side of the coin is that less working hours will get you a less income. So if you take leaves to relax, the other side of coin is you will lose on income. Or you can say there is like the situation is like you went to an holiday, but the other side of the coin is it makes you more tired when you are traveling with the kids. Okay, and similar way, as we use the other side of the coin, on the other hand, or you can say on the one hand and on the other hand. So this idiom is also very popular. Most of the thing, like in most of the situation, we use this to show both the sides. So one of the example is airport development is necessary. On the other hand, you are displacing a lot of residents by building it, right? So whenever you want to show any contradiction, then you can say pay the price. Like when there is an experience bad, like whenever you want to do something and it has a bad result of something you have done, it is pay the price for it. So the loss of biodiversity is the price we must pay for progress. Or you can say if you don't look after your health now, you will pay the price when you are older. Now see things from a different angle. See things from different angle is to consider something that is different point of view. So let us try to see this problem from a different angle, right? Or you can say, and then there is another one is to get a fresh perspective, to get a different point of view. So how to use it is, let us consider the opinion of those who disagree. This can bring us a fresh perspective. Okay, look on the brighter side. There is, like, try to see something good in a bad situation. Okay, so how to do it, how to use it is, say city life is stressful, but if we look on the bright side, there are more facilities available, right? So you can give a contradiction which is positive. Then weighing the pros and cons, consider like advantages and disadvantages. This is straightforward, like you must weigh the pros and cons of allowing unrestricted internet access to your kids, like that. Then again, this one is also classic. Every cloud have a silver lining. Some benefits can always be derived from bad things that happen. So silver lining is, usually this came up when there is dark and there is cloud, and this suddenly sun appears, you will see a silver lining to it. And that's where the idiom comes from. So you can say, even though we had lost the match, we had gained in experience and was now more confident. Every cloud has a silver lining. So you can end a statement with a word like every cloud has a silver lining. Then there is a blessing in disguise. So something that is bad at first, but later results in something good. Okay, so when it changes the nature of it, you can say the blessing in disguise. Okay, losing the job turned out to be blessing in disguise for some, as it forced him to plunge into business. So he lost his job, but he started the business. That means the blessing was there, but it was his disguised as failure. So for someone it will be a failure, but then it was blessing for him, right? So when Pete fractured his knee, it was a blessing in disguise. Why? Because he got some much time to rest and break from his hectic work life, right? Unnecessary evil. So this is something also used more often. Something unpleasant, like that must be done in order to achieve a goal or an objective. So like milk. Mike saw his going to work for his father as a necessary evil if he was ever to own his company someday. So he has to work for his father, and it is a necessary evil for him to get ownership, right? So, or you can say David's marriage to Anne is simply a necessary evil, or getting education is seen by some as necessary evil to get a chance at a better life. Many examples like this are there for necessary evil. Then all that glitter is not gold. So basically this is to show like something which is like looks perfect but it is not. So not everything that is glitter is gold. So children should be careful about making new friends on social media because all that glitter is not gold. Then as different as chalk and cheese. So this is very like it's seldomly used. So for two things completely different from each other, this is the idiom. So how celebrities behave in public and how they are in private are as different as chalk and cheese. So these two things are very contradictory. So you can use as different as chalk and cheese. Then devil's advocate. So highly used idiom, one who presents a counter agreement. Argument, sorry. So argument, whenever you are putting out an argument and the counter side of it as well, this is the idiom to use. So though homeschooling has merits, but I played the devil's advocate and say that traditional schools are better. Give the devil his due. This is basically give to credit to an opponent's merit. To give your rival like appreciate them or praise them. Technology has intruded into our lives, but give the devil his due. Convince Convenience has increased. Okay, although technology is an intruder to our lives, but it is also convenient for us. Now the next one is between devil and the deep blue sea. We have already talked about it. Then there is grass is always greener on the other side. To believe that someone else's life is better than our own is the regular idiom that we use. So celebrities get no time for friends and family. Instead of envying them, we should be grateful for what we have because grass is always greener on the other side. Carrot and stick. Carrot and stick is basically a mixture of reward and punishment to induce good behavior. So you have to show carrot and also stick to someone just to be like reward and punishment go along. So along with carrot of monetary reward must go the stick of 24 by 7 work culture. Or you can say apart from building the stick of trade sanctions, the main deal will be carrot of the cash transfer. In this idiom, usually both the words are not said together. So you can use carrot somewhere to represent something that is good and the stick that is bad. So say government's emphasis should be on the carrot of incentive rather than the stick of taxes, like that.